down, don't get caught in the mosh pit. Fuel to the fire, ain't nobody can stop it. Trouble in my city, but you know I'm across it. Got a 40 on my hip and I'm liable to spark it. Throw down these hits, my click is indivisible. I aim, you duck, I squeeze, now you invisible. I'm not afraid of getting physical. All these different chemicals are fogging up my visuals. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Yo, we notorious, we ain't no runners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Yo, we some warriors, they ain't called gunners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Put on my strap, put on the beat, put on the map, put on my team. Take out every motherfucker in between. Know what I mean? Better myself, better my aim, better my rap, better my name. Killing rappers on my hang, I'm by their chains for the fame. Never thought I would it, now I'm running. You don't wanna follow me, now I'm looking for.
What's going on? What's going on? Good evening and welcome to another broadcast of Steve the Kidney Nurse. I am your host, Steve Belcher. Thank you for joining. I see we don't have no viewers on the YouTube or Facebook Live, but that's okay. I want to welcome my TikTok crew up here watching. Thank you guys for being so dedicated and joining the broadcast. So tonight, we putting a spotlight on lupus nephritis. Are you at risk? And lupus in general, okay? Just like I mentioned on TikTok before the show, lupus is almost similar in nature to kidney disease, where it's a chronic condition, okay? And just like with kidney disease, you have certain stages. With lupus, you have flare-ups, okay? And those flare-ups can damage or affect the joints, the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, circulating blood cells, and the brain. But tonight, we're highlighting lupus nephritis, which many kidney warriors right now to this day are dealing with, and that was the reason behind them undergoing kidney dialysis. So you see how they had one disease, lupus, that turned into lupus nephritis, which affects the kidneys, nephron. Anything when you hear something to start with nephro deals with the kidneys. Nephritis, inflammation of the nephrons. If you can see this picture right here, I'm looking at my TikTok gang. These little points right here are nephrons. And these are the things that get damaged. Inflammation, inflamed. So let's talk about what lupus is, or as they call it, systemic lupus erythematosus. Okay, SLE. So lupus is a chronic, meaning long-term autoimmune disease that can affect many parts of the body. Lupus occurs when the immune system, check this out, guys, because this is what these warriors deal with. Lupus occurs when the immune system, which normally helps protects the body from infection and diseases, attacks its own tissues. Your body is attacking its own tissues. Now, this is what lupus warriors have to deal with. This attack causes inflammation, and in some cases, permanent tissue damage. Permanent tissue damage, which can be widespread. affecting the joints, the skin. That's why you see the butterfly rash, the heart, the lungs, the kidneys. And I mentioned before, circulating blood cells. And guess what? Even the brain. Some people who have lupus, unfortunately, experience periods of illness, or what you may hear them say, flares. I'm having a flare, a lupus flare. And then sometimes they have periods of wellness, which is called remission. It's just laying underneath, waiting to rear its ugly head at any time. Yes, this is what lupus warriors go through. Lupus flares or illness can be mild to serious. You just don't know. And they are unpredictable. Isn't that right, TikTok? These flares are unpredictable if you have lupus. And if you're watching this, please share. I have nobody on Facebook and TikTok. Facebook and YouTube, which I know thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are on Facebook and TikTok has lupus. And you may have a lupus warrior say, oh, I don't need to see a damn kidney nurse talk about this. I already know about it. And that may be true. But what about the other people at risk? What about helping, sharing how you managed and got through the flares? We know this disease, people are being hit every day with lupus. And if they don't know nobody to share their story, yes, you can go into a group, a Facebook group or whatever group, and talk about your experience. But what about the educational part on why this is happening? And that's why I'm here tonight. Because some people may have this and don't know what's going on. And they don't have nobody to share that information with. They don't have a nurse to come on that share information or be educational, No, I'm not dealing with the disease. But if I can give you some information to help point you in the right direction or stimulate or promote dialogue, dealing with it, and so it can add value to your life and make your life a little better in spite of, that's just what I hope to do. So now, like I said, lupus flares can be mild to serious and are unpredictable. However, with treatment, whatever treatment you decide, and we're here, this is not no judgment zone. I'm not here to tell you what you should do and how you should treat your lupus. Oh, you should eat herbs and do this, or you should eat healthy, or you should take this medicine, that medicine. I'm going to put out the information as they call evidence-based, and then it's up to you to do your research and see what works best for you. As they say, not everybody doesn't fit in a one-size box. Like, not all lupus warriors experience the same symptoms. Just like people with kidney disease, not everybody experiences the same symptoms if you're on dialysis or have the same treatment plan. So I just want to say that this is no judgment zone here. So who gets lupus? As I mentioned before, just like with kidney disease, anyone can get lupus, just like anyone can get kidney disease. However, Now, this is debatable because I've seen two different readings. This one says women get the disease about 9 times more often than men. 9 times. Most often it happens in people between the ages of 15 and 45. If you didn't know that, lupus, people who get lupus, it normally on the average. Now it can happen outside of that range, but on the average, between the ages of 15 and 45 years. But lupus can occur in childhood or later in life as well. It just depends. So, who is more likely to develop lupus nephritis? Unfortunately, Blacks, or if you want to label it African American, Hispanics, Latinos, and Asian Americans are more likely to develop lupus nephritis, okay, than Caucasians. Lupus nephritis, okay, not lupus, but lupus nephritis, which damages the kidney, is more common in men than in women. Okay, and you're gonna say lupus, women are 9 times more often to get lupus than men, but lupus nephritis, which is inflammation of the nephrons, is more common in men than in women. Y'all may have seen the male lupus warrior that's on Facebook, Emmett Henderson, sharing his experience with lupus. So, for those of you who don't have lupus, and I know people who's watching this right now, what I'm about to say can relate. They can relate what I'm about to say. What are the symptoms of lupus nephritis? Now, some of the symptoms of lupus nephritis may indicate foamy urine. How many people are watching on TikTok or even Facebook or YouTube? If you got lupus nephritis or your kidneys were damaged and you're on dialysis due to lupus, did you notice foamy urine? Did you notice edema, which is swelling in the bottom of your feet? You're like, oh, what the hell is this? How did this? Like, my feet wasn't swollen 3 days ago. Now they swollen. Or you go to the bathroom and you urinate and you finish and you look down and you see all this foam bubbling. I be like, God, dog, where did that foam come from? And usually the swelling can occur in the legs, your feet, your ankles. Probably can't put your shoes on. Can't tie them up. Now you gotta go out and buy some bedroom slippers because your feet swollen. You like trying to figure out what's going on. And less often in the hands and face. You're not going to always see the swelling in the hands or face. You may also develop high blood pressure as well, which is the second leading cause of kidney failure. kidney disease. So now, if you got lupus, and then you get lupus nephritis, start messing with your kidneys, now it can also cause high blood pressure, which is the second leading cause of kidney failure. Now you got two things to worry about. You got two things to worry about. You got to worry about the lupus and getting that under control. And now you got to worry about getting the high blood pressure under control. It's like you can't get a freaking break. And this is where the education comes in. Because if you never knew about lupus, up one day you having all these symptoms and you don't know they're doing a battery of tests, and you don't know anything about anything. All you know is you got these symptoms and you don't know what the hell it is. And next thing you know, they telling you have something called lupus. You're like, what? What the hell is that? And goes through your mind, wait a minute. You may have heard something on TikTok or social media, somebody talking about it. Now all of a sudden you got it. And you don't even know where to turn. You go on Google, you Google it, put in lupus, and a ton of information come up, and you don't even know where to start. Like, what the hell? Like, where the hell do I start? And all the while, you're going through these symptoms, not knowing what to do and how to deal with them. That's why we need shows like this. We need more nurses or medical professionals who are educated or who can come on and share information to patients or the people dealing with these chronic illness that may not fully understand what's going on with their life. This is your life. These diseases ain't nothing to play with. You see on TikTok, some people broadcasting from the hospital, they may be having a sickle cell crisis or going through this, or see someone on TikTok doing their dialysis while they're at home. Now you got young people doing it. I'm doing this for 37 years. I can never remember before the turn of the information age, Y2K, there was no internet where you had people on there hooking up dialysis because they would probably be nervous to do it or feel the shame because, it's like, how, on the internet you're doing this and people are like, oh, what the heck, what are you doing? Now here you go, 20 years later, you have people on social media doing their treatment, educating people in, watching. Now, because when you're walking outside a dialysis clinic, you don't know what's going on the inside. They got the blinds down. You got to like crack through to see anything. All you know is you just see people walking out with the blue bag, leaving, getting in the car, coming out in the wheelchair or the walker. And you wonder, damn, I wonder what they doing in there. You may even think it's a blood plasma place. You didn't have this 20 years ago. So you would think, why not, when you have the information age and we got all these diseases, chronic illness, and people getting diagnosed with lupus, kidney disease, diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, sickle cell. And when you got credible people that could be on, that can give you something, just something that can make a huge difference in your life or make a huge impact. But we don't have it. So I get it. When people see me on doing these shows and they're not dealing with the condition, that's not to say you can't get the condition. It's just you're not dealing with it now. None of us know what the future holds. None of us. So other symptoms of lupus nephritis, and some of you warriors, if you're watching on here, thank you for the roses. If you put roses up and I didn't see them, God bless you. Thank you. For those of you who also dealt with lupus nephritis, you may have noticed blood in the urine. Blood in the urine. Some blood you can see, some you can't. But if you put that dipstick in, it's going to change the colors, presence of occult blood or hema. That's blood, like hemodialysis, meaning blood. You may have dark urine, maybe looking like Coca-Cola. You're like, whoa, I'm peeing Coca-Cola? What's going on? What's really going on? Or you may have protein, just like with kidney disease, protein in the urine. Why do you think people with kidney disease have to worry about protein in the urine and people with lupus nephritis have to deal with protein in the urine? Because they both deal with the kidneys, and both, when the kidneys are damaged, protein leaks through those filters. That's why we say, look, when you get it, if you got kidney disease or you got lupus and you're dealing with lupus nephritis and you get it under control, reduce your protein. Reduce your especially the animal fat your fried chicken, if you eat red meat, if you eat goat, or reduce that protein significantly, because that protein can leak through those kidneys and damage the nephrons even further. Even further. So look, kidney problems often start at the same time, and my TikTok group, my Lupus Warriors, can you validate this? It says kidney problems often start at the same time or shortly after lupus symptoms, and can include joint pain or swelling, muscle pain, fever with no known causes. All of a sudden you got a fever. Like, what the hell? And there's no cause to it, but it's the inflammation process. You may even have a red rash on your face that goes across the nose and the cheeks, sometimes called a butterfly rash because of its distinctive shape. And somebody may see you, what's going on? You got a rash on your face. Oh, that's like a butterfly. Not knowing that you're dealing with a chronic condition. So let's talk about, if you didn't know, and I know Lupus Warriors know this because they've been through this. And if they on the feed right now, if you're dealing with lupus nephritis, thank you so much for being on this feed, being on this live tonight. as they call it, my show. But thank you for being here and sharing your experience with lupus. Thank you so much, because I know that you guys who dealt or who deal with lupus right now, especially lupus nephritis, the tests that are done to diagnose your condition, of how they know you had lupus. I know you probably went through a battery of tests and you just waiting for it to end. Like, come on, find out what is wrong with me. So let's talk about how lupus nephritis is diagnosed. It's diagnosed through urine and blood tests, and also one that can give you a definitive diagnosis, and it's probably no fun to get it, is a kidney biopsy. How many lupus warriors with nephritis had a kidney biopsy? Let me hear you shout it out if you had one. Because you know how it feels to go through these tests to actually get diagnosed, so you can have a plan on what to do once you finally figure out what's going on with your kidneys. Now you know you got lupus and other joints are hurting. Now what can you do? Also, the blood test. Okay, let's talk about the urine first. When they do the urine test, when you pee, put it in a cup and they do the test, they're looking for blood. They're looking for blood and protein in the urine. A high level of protein or a high level or a high number of red blood cells in the urine means kidney damage. Okay? So if you got lupus, diabetes, hypertension, and you go to the doctors and they say, oh, Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so, you got a high level of protein and red blood cells in your urine. Keep asking questions. Why do I have that? What's causing it? How do I resolve it? Don't just, walk out the office, because now they're going to start doing all this regimen and you're losing precious time in trying to find the right intervention that's going to work for you. Now, the Western medicine intervention, you may see everybody on the same, here, we're going to give you this pill, we're going to give you this steroid, this, that, do this. But we know that there's a whole holistic side of medicine that is underutilized and that's often dismissed by Western medicine. So that's why I say, the sooner you get the information that you know what you're dealing with, then you could go on your own to see what works for you. Only thing we can tell you what works is the standard status quo, what doctors has been using for years to treat this condition. And I say, once you get it managed with the steroids and all that, then do your soul searching or seeking for healthier medicinal information that you can apply to yourself, and you can try to see if it works for you. They also do a blood test to diagnose this thing. Blood test is used to measure the creatinine level, a waste product from the normal breakdown of muscles in your body. That's why they say if you got kidney disease, don't be going to the gym and lifting weights. Like, don't be strenuous with that. Why? You say, why, Steve? I thought you say exercise. Yes, but don't go full blast Arnold Schwarzenegger, because the breakdown of muscle tissue, the creatinine, now it could possibly cause some kidney damage. That's why they say if you're going to exercise or do any type of physical activity, do aerobics, swimming, walking, brisk walk, jogging, jumping jacks, jump rope, bike riding. So the kidneys remove creatinine from your blood. The amount of creatinine in your blood is used to estimate the GFR, or the glomerular filtration rate. That's the number I keep telling you guys when I say get checked for kidney disease. What's your GFR? That's the glomerular filtration rate. That's your kidney number. That's what tells you what stage you're in. 5 stages. 9 out of 10 blacks have stage 3 and don't even know it. So that's very important to know what, even if you got lupus and you don't have any issues right now with your kidneys, or you think you may not have any issues, keep track of your kidney numbers, even if nothing is happening now, because when you have your flare-ups, you could be doing something damaging the kidneys during the flare-ups and not even know it. And so as the kidneys get worse, the creatinine level goes up. When your kidneys start getting bad and worse, the creatinine level rises. And that's what you want to check if you're dealing with any type of chronic illness that can lead to kidney disease. You want to make sure you keep check of your GFR, your BUN, which is blood urine nitrogen, which is another waste, and your creatinine level. And another test they do to make a diagnosis is the biopsy. Okay? Is the biopsy. And the kidney biopsy is a procedure that involves taking a small piece of kidney tissue for examination under a microscope. So they got you laying on your side, drug you up, maybe lidocaine you wherever they're going to do the biopsy. So to do the biopsy, they use a biopsy needle. They numb the area, and they possibly use a mild sedation. How many people had a kidney biopsy? If you're on this feed and you had a biopsy, share that experience. Because you may have somebody who may need to get a biopsy soon. And they may want to know what to look out for, what to do. So if you had a kidney biopsy, TikTok, share that experience. Even on my YouTube and Facebook, if you're watching and you had a kidney biopsy, so they can make a definitive diagnosis of lupus nephritis, please share that information. And so the mild sedation is to help you relax during this procedure. The tissue is then examined at the lab by a pathologist. And those of you who may not know, not to insult your intelligence, but we don't know where everybody's medical knowledge is. I don't want to assume. But a pathologist is a doctor who specializes in diagnosing diseases. Okay. So what can a kidney biopsy do, guys? You maybe say, Steve, okay, I get this biopsy needle. It's longer than this. All right, I get this biopsy needle and you go on my back and you get a piece of tissue out. What can it do, the biopsy? One, as I mentioned before, it can confirm a diagnosis of lupus nephritis. You can find out how far the disease has progressed, because you can have lupus nephritis and not have kidney failure. So just because you got lupus nephritis doesn't mean you got kidney failure or you're going to be on dialysis. But what are we going to do when you find out you got lupus nephritis, of how to reduce that inflammation in the nephrons to prevent further damage? Also, the biopsy can guide treatment. Once you know where you're at, how far the disease has advanced, if it advanced at all, now you can guide treatment and how we're going to deal with this. So, according to the American College of Rheumatology, they recommend biopsies for people with signs of active lupus nephritis who have not yet been treated. Early diagnosis and prompt treatment may help protect your kidneys, which I think a lot of patients don't get because they don't find out until it's too late about the lupus nephritis. You see it on TikTok, social media, where warriors say that's what took out my kidneys. Lupus. Maybe it hit them and they didn't know what was actually going on or got misdiagnosed. And then when they finally got diagnosed and what it was too late. Too late. So again, that's why early diagnosis and prompt treatment can help protect your kidneys if you got lupus. You may have lupus, just been diagnosed and haven't even advanced, or nothing happened yet. And we hope it stays that way. That's where the prevention comes in. So stick with me. We're almost there, as they say it on as they say at the seminars. We're almost there. Stick with me. How do what's his name? Jim Rohn. We almost there. So, but look, all jokes aside, how is lupus nephritis treated? And for some warriors, they may have gotten treated too late. Too late. But doctors often treat the Western medical way of treating this disease is they treat lupus nephritis with medicine that suppresses the immune system. It suppresses. So it stops attacking and damaging the kidneys. Oh my God. I just saw something that came across my news feed, that dozens of tornadoes ripped through Houston. I'm gonna have to end this shortly and make sure my daughter's okay. Oh my God. Okay. So again, doctors treat lupus nephritis with medicines that suppress the immune system so it stops attacking and damaging the kidneys. So goals of treatment are to, one, reduce inflammation in your kidneys. Okay, that's the first one. Reduce the inflammation in the kidneys. We got to get to the root. We got to get to the root of the problem. It ain't no time of pussyfooting around. 2, decrease immune system activity. We want to decrease that activity. 3, block your body's immune cells from attacking the kidneys directly or making antibodies that attack the kidneys. Say, Steve, all that sounds really, really crazy. How's that? You're going to stop? How you reduce inflammation in the kidneys? How do you decrease immune system activity? And then how do you block immune cells from attacking the kidneys directly or replicating or making antibodies to attack the kidneys? That sounds like a lot of shit. Yeah. And once you can get these doctors, these medicines to get this in check, then that's when you can go out and do your research on other alternatives to keep that disease in check. Doctors usually prescribe corticosteroids or steroids. The main drug of choice is usually prednisone. And a medicine to suppress your immune system. So they use the prednisone and another medicine to suppress your immune system, such as a cyclophosphamide and hydrochloroquine. A medicine for people who have SLE, and SLE stands for systemic lupus erythematosus. So, as I count down, lupus nephritis can cause high blood pressure in some people. You may have never had high blood pressure. Next thing you know, the lupus is messing with your kidneys. You go to the doctors, they take your blood pressure 170 over 90. You're like, what the hell? I ain't never had no high blood pressure. Your blood pressure always been 130 over 80. 130 over 75. And now all of a sudden, when you start having these issues with your kidneys, you may see blood in the urine, or it may be foamy. And you go to the doctors for your appointment, taking, oh, your pressure is high. That's where it comes from, the lupus nephritis. Because and this is why, when the lupus inflames the kidneys, the inflammation, the kidneys regulate blood pressure. If your kidneys are out of whack, guess what else is going to be out of whack? The blood pressure. The blood pressure. That's why. The kidneys regulate, that's one of the functions of the kidneys, is to regulate blood pressure. And if you got hypertension, which is the second leading cause of kidney failure, if you run around with 200 over 100, that shit can knock out your kidneys, because the kidneys are trying to regulate it. And your heart, that pressure's up, that strain on the kidneys can blow them. That's why it's the second leading cause of kidney failure, high blood pressure. So now you got lupus, which can possibly go into lupus nephritis, which can possibly cause high blood pressure in some people. Now you got to deal with lupus, lupus nephritis, and high blood pressure. Triple threat. So now you may need to take more than one kind of medicine to control your blood pressure. And if you're dealing with lupus and your blood pressure's out of whack, and you're not really a connoisseur of health remedies, or going out and getting plants and mixing it up, or garlic and all that, don't go out and try it now, because you're wasting precious time. Because what if that doesn't work? Now you got to go back and try to start a treatment of steroids to get the inflammation down. Then next thing you know, oh, they said it's too late. I may have to go on dialysis. So blood pressure medicines, you may need to take more than one to control your pressure, okay? Once you get your pressure under control, then maybe look, because now you know what combination is keeping your blood pressure in check. So blood pressure medicine may include ACE inhibitors and ARBs, with drugs that end in pril, like lisinopril or sartan, losartan. Okay? Diuretics they may use. Beta blockers or calcium channel blockers. If you on here and you got diabetes, hypertension, kidney disease, or lupus, you know what I'm talking about. ACE inhibitors and ARBs, diuretics, beta blockers, calcium channel blockers. And for those who don't know, come back to my show and we'll talk about these medicines that are often used for these common chronic diseases. ACE inhibitors and ARBs may help protect your kidneys, and diuretics help your kidneys remove fluid from your body. I'm on the ARB. You say, Steve, what? You on a blood pressure medicine? Yes, I'm on a blood pressure medicine. I don't care what anyone says. I showed you my labs. That's why I'm at stage 2, but I went from a GFR of 80 back up to 92. I'm only taking one blood pressure medicine. It's an ARB. It's called telmisartan. You see that SARTAN, sartan. You're going to have that at the end of your ARB medication. So the last thing I want to say, if you're dealing with lupus and you know this, a lot of lupus warriors know that diet plays a big role or a big part in all this. Exercise, it all plays a big part. It helps reduce the inflammation. You all hear about animal meat causes inflammation. You want to have your body stress-free. That's why you see a lot of lupus warriors eating clean, working out. Hell, I got kidney disease. I got my kettlebell right here, kettlebell. You know, you got to do something. In fact, just even working out 30 minutes can have a positive effect on your health. It can. So, what do I mean? Diet. Reduce your sodium. Increase your fresh fruits, vegetables if you can. We know not everybody has money like that can do that. Let's not make believe that this is a perfect world and I'm saying fresh fruits and vegetables and everybody can run out and pick up fresh fruits and vegetables, because we know that's not true. We know that's not true. Not everybody has access to finances, to resources, to grocery stores. They live in the food desert. No access to transportation to get to the grocery store. So now they subjected to Dollar General or Family Dollar. But if you are subjected to that, find the most healthiest thing you can in that store. Find what's low in in sodium, cholesterol, saturated fats. Water. Increase your water intake. Go out and get whatever water you want, whether it's alkaline or not. But at least put down the sodas, the fruit juices, the orange juices that's high in sugar, the Lipton iced teas, extra sweet, the Pepsis, the colas, the Mountain Dews. Also, decrease your cholesterol. If you want to wake up in the morning eating bacon and egg sandwich or fried egg, or you go to McDonald's and eat a sausage McMuffin or some bullshit like that, stop it. Or at least try to change your eating pattern. so you can reduce these symptoms and not become a victim of circumstances. And so, with that being said, I hope I was able to reach someone tonight to add value in your life of something that you may not knew before you heard this, and now you know, at least know something that can help you make a conscious decision on how to handle or take care for your health to the next level. To the next level. You say, Steve, what's the next level? Taking responsibility of your health, asking questions, doing the right thing, questioning your doctor, taking charge of your health. All the above. You know, as I said, this year 2023, this not whatever disease, chronic disease you may be dealing with, whether it's lupus nephritis, kidney disease or kidney failure, diabetes, sickle cell, high blood pressure, whatever. Now is not the time to be cute with the disease and not take action to put it in its place. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the roses. Let me see what the comments say on here. I'm going to close it down on YouTube and Facebook. Oh, let me see. P. Teach. Hello, Steve. Glad to join you for knowledge this evening. Thank you for joining me, P. Teach. Steve, yes, this is me trying to gain weight now and monitor my protein. Yes, I had a biopsy in October. Wow, thank you for sharing that, P. Teach. Do you know anything about microphenolate and how it's used? No, I don't know anything about microphenolate, but I'm going to look it up right quick before I get off the live, because that's how we learn. And so, like, I'll look it up. Say you try to look it up and you can't understand. You read it, you can read everything it says, but trying to put it into understand it, it's understandable. We don't expect people who don't have any type of medical training, whatever, come in and read something like, oh, I know what, not unless you just got a high damn IQ and oh, okay. This is the generic name for myfortic or CellCept, mycophenolic acid. It's an immunosuppressive drug. It can prevent organ rejection after transplant. The brands Myfortic and CellCept. So it says, so let me tell you what this is used for, P. Teach. It says, what is mycophenolate used to treat? Mycophenolate has been used to treat people with lupus, especially those with symptoms of kidney disease, rheumatoid arthritis or RA, vasculitis, inflammatory bowel disease such as Crohn's disease, inflammatory eye disease, and some other kidney and skin disorders. Let's look at some of the side effects of this medicine. Mycophenolate weakens, it lowers the defense. the body's immune system, and it may decrease, okay, it may, your ability to fight infections and increase the risk that you will get a serious infection, okay, or viral infection that spreads through the body. Now, is mycophenolate a high-risk medication? Although it's uncommon, there's a slightly increased risk of certain types of cancer, such as skin cancer, in people using mycophenolate. So, not that it's common, it's uncommon, but there's a slightly increased risk of certain type of cancers from this particular drug. So, P-Teach, I hope I was able to answer your question. You say, yes, great info, Steve. You are so right. Ask questions. Yeah. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you. And asking the questions. Definitely. So again, guys, I'm about to get off of here, Pete Teach. And I don't know if you got a TikTok account, but I'm going to probably be on that for about 10, 15 more minutes talking with the TikTok crew. And then I want to call it a night. I got to work in the morning, another 4 o'clock wake up. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So that's 3 shifts. Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do. So thank you, guys. I'm going to officially close this broadcast on YouTube. Thanks, Pete Teach, and whoever else was on here watching. Oh, hey, what's up, Jonathan? Hope with Jonathan. You had a great show with Mike Gilchrist and the blind chick on dialysis. That was a great show, man. I didn't get a chance to watch all of it, but I watched part of it. So, yeah, guys, if you're on here, again, I asked the question, where are all the kidney advocates? And one advocate that's still hanging around is Jonathan Traylor. And he's with Hope with Jonathan podcast. You want to share your stories. If you got kidney disease, chronic illness, you want to share your story so other people can hear. Hope with Jonathan. He's definitely doing it. Oh, hey, Doc, how you doing? How you doing, Doc? Appreciate you coming on. Yeah, I just went and talked a little bit about kidney nephritis or lupus nephritis, something's not commonly talked about in the dialysis unit. Or matter of fact, any type of education alone like it was back in the 80s. So thank you for coming to my live and acknowledging yourself. Appreciate it. I'm Steve, the kidney nurse. Been doing dialysis about 37 years, since 1985. I was a tech for 10 years. And after that, I matriculated through the ranks of school, got my master's in nursing, track in leadership and management, and just stayed in dialysis. And now I'm a advocate for some of the injustices that happen on dialysis. So let me officially close out on YouTube and stick on TikTok. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you, Jonathan. Thanks for coming on. PT, thank you for your questions. I really appreciate your support. Share the live, and if you're doing dialysis, PT, or you know other people that are dealing with chronic kidney disease, please have them come over to Steve the Kidney Nurse Facebook page or YouTube channel for some great information. All right. Thank you, man. Thank you for joining. Have a blessed day. And if you're on TikTok, come on over for a little while. Steve the Kidney Nurse. and we go from there. So let me close this out. Thank you, guys. Stay blessed and encouraged. Peace.
Warriors around, don't get caught in the mosh pit. Fuel to the fire, ain't nobody can stop it. Trouble in my city, but you know I'm across it. Got a 40 on my hip and I'm liable to spark it. Throw down these hits, my click is indivisible. I aim, you duck, I squeeze, now you invisible. I'm not afraid of getting physical. All these different chemicals are fogging up my visuals. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Yo, we notorious, we ain't no runners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Yo, we some warriors, they ain't called gunners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Put on my sweat, put on the beat, put on the map, put on my team. Kick out every motherfucker in between, know what I mean? Better myself, better my aim, better my rep, better my name. Killing rappers on my hang, I'm by their chains for the fame. Never thought I would it, now I'm running. You don't wanna follow me, now I'm looking for